Nigel, it's great of you to join us on Sheffield Live TV. Do you know, from the media session that you've had today, the thing that most comes across to me is you are positively radiating excitement.
Yeah, and rightly so. Listen, the sun's shining up here in Sheffield. I'm at Sheffield United, Bramwell Lane, a fantastic football club, you know, and we should be excited about the year ahead. The expectation is high. That's coming from myself as well as everybody else, you know, and you know, it is. I mean, I lived at Scunthorpe for 14 years, so I'm aware of how big a football club Sheffield United is, you know, and fortunate I've been here as an opposition player and as an opposition manager, so I know how exciting it can be out there, how passionate it can be out there. I'm delighted to be here. I'm looking forward to the massive challenge we've got in front of ourselves.
Yeah, you're talking about a massive challenge. You're supposed to be just a tiny bit anxious. You're supposed to be a bit under pressure, to use that overused cliche in football. You don't look like a man who's under pressure to me.
Well, listen, it's one of them. It's I love football. I've been in football since I've been 16, you know, and schoolboy at Liverpool, 17-year-old, make me debut at the Tranmere Rovers, and I've been in football all my life, different guises, you know, 300 plus games as a player, 500 as a physio. I've had me injuries, and 500 plus as a manager. I love football. I love being part of it, and this is a great football club, and we need to get out of this division straight away. But that's my drive as well as everybody else's drive. I want to be back in the Premier League. We have an opportunity at Sheffield United to go and do that one. Very unlikely you can actually go in and jump, right? But if we get the structure in place, we have an opportunity for sustainability. And I think you alluded to it before, 40 managers in 40 years. It's crazy.
I've worked with 40 managers in 40 years in Sheffield football at the two clubs.
Okay, sorry.
At the two clubs. So that works out as one a year, but it is 20 each.
Right.
In my 40 years, 20 each. And that's one every 2 years, right, on average.
Yeah, well, again, like football, but we're here now, and we're looking forward to it. So
yeah, and that's not put you off. I've not put you off there.
Not at all. No, I'm very, you know, as I say, very excited, very passionate about what I do. You know, it's. I think it's important that I remain consistent as well, because with football, with passionate football clubs like this we can get very high when we win. We can also get very low when we lose. We need to try and keep the balance as much as possible. So that's my responsibility to do that. But I hate losing. You know, I want to win, and my drive and our goal is to get this fantastic football club promoted as soon as possible. But keep building on it, so there's an infrastructure in place to keep moving forward.
You're known in the game as a nice guy, and certainly journalists would vouch for that, because you've got a very refreshing understanding of the job that we all do. In fact, today you were even encouraging us to ask you tough questions. I can't think of any at the moment, but you're actually encouraging that. Not too many managers would say that to journalists.
I think the big thing, I look for players to be honest and hard working. I think that's the way I've brought up through my life. I work hard, I put the hours in, I want to be the best, but I want everyone else to be the best. And I think even when you speak with players, the best thing to do is just be honest with them. They might not like what you hear, but be honest with them. And you guys as journalists, for you to be the best journalists, right, you've got to get that information out for the supporters want to hear. You have to ask the difficult questions, right? As long as they're fair. But
okay,
then that's up to me to go and to answer it or hide away from it.
Fair enough. Then when are you signing Billy Sharp?
There's been a lot of speculation on Billy, and obviously that's because I've managed him in the past. Managed at Scunthorpe United, and we actually sold him to Sheffield United. You know, he'd done great. Managed to take him down to Southampton with us, and he scored some valuable goals to get us promoted to the Premier League. Took him on loan at Reading. So there's where the speculation is. He's a Leeds United football player. I think the important thing is when there's a player at another club, the last thing you should go and do is publicly go out and be unsettling people, because flip it the other way, we wouldn't like it if it was one of our players. You know, I think there's been a speculation about one of our players at this moment in time.
Jamie Murphy.
You know, Jamie Murphy. So it's kind of like that happens at all football clubs, and I've been linked with probably every player who's played with us before has been linked somewhere in some media thing. I think it's unfair to actually go and talk publicly about anything like that. First and foremost, we're having a look at the squad that we've got. Alluded to, we need to score, you know, for next season we need to score more and concede less than what we did last season. So we'll look at that. So without hiding away from the question of Billy Sharp, I think it's important that at this moment in time, he's a Leeds United football player, and at this moment in time we need to look at the players that we've got, and at this moment in time, without ducking the question, there's a lot of conversations that are going on across the board with agents where players manipulate themselves in preparation for pre-season.
Okay, so have you made an approach in that direction at this stage?
We have not made an approach for Billy Sharp.
Oh, okay. Have any approaches been made for Jamie Murphy, who was the other player we talked about?
I know conversations have gone on, but obviously from our point of view, Jamie's not a player. He did ever so well last season. You look at the stats again, and the amount of goals that he's gone and created. He's not a player that we'll be looking to move on at this moment in time.